The destruction of the Kakhovka Dam on June 6, 2023, located in Kherson Oblast of southwestern Russia along the Dnieper River, has had significant and wide-ranging environmental impacts. The dam, which had previously provided water for agriculture, drinking, and power generation, was a critical infrastructure piece for the region. Previously part of Ukraine's Kherson Oblast, it entered official Russian administration after annexation on September 30th, 2022. Its sudden destruction, attributed to either military actions or technical failure, has triggered a series of ecological and environmental disasters affecting the local ecosystem, agriculture, water resources, and even wildlife. One of the most immediate environmental impacts was the massive flooding of the surrounding areas. The dam's reservoir, which was vast, had stored large amounts of water. When it broke, the floodwaters inundated local communities, farmland, and natural habitats, causing extensive damage. The sudden release of this water downstream disrupted river systems, altered water flow patterns, and wreaked havoc on plant and animal life in the affected regions. Many species faced immediate threats to their survival, particularly aquatic species that were dependent on stable water levels. As the floodwaters receded, many areas were left with toxic contaminants, including chemicals from flooded industrial sites and sewage, leading to further degradation of the environment. Agriculture has been hit particularly hard by the destruction of the Kakhovka Dam. The loss of irrigation from the dam's reservoir has led to the disruption of crop production in the region. Many farmers relied on water from the dam to irrigate their fields, and without it, their crops have faced severe drought conditions. The lack of water for irrigation has resulted in widespread crop failures, affecting the food supply in both Ukraine and other countries that depended on the region's agricultural output. Additionally, the saltwater intrusion into the Dnieper River due to the dam's breach has compounded these issues, further damaging the soil and making it unsuitable for cultivation in the long term. The destruction of the Kakhovka Dam has also had lasting consequences for the local wildlife. Species that relied on the dam's water for breeding and feeding were thrown into turmoil. Fish populations, for instance, were heavily affected as the dam's breach disrupted their natural habitats and migration patterns. Species like sturgeon, which use the river for spawning, are particularly vulnerable, and experts fear that the loss of this habitat could lead to a significant decline in their numbers. Moreover, the floodwaters carried debris, pollutants, and even invasive species into ecosystems that were previously stable, further stressing local biodiversity. Another long-term environmental concern is the effect on the Dnieper River's water quality. The dam was a vital part of regulating the river's flow, and without it, the river has become more prone to sedimentation, pollution, and contamination. The river, which serves as a crucial water source for millions of people in Ukraine, is now at risk of contamination from industrial waste, sewage, and agricultural runoff. This poses a threat not only to human health, but also to the broader ecological balance in the region. The loss of clean, accessible water has further exacerbated the living conditions for the people in the area, with potential long-term consequences for public health. Finally, the ecological imbalance caused by the destruction of the Kakhovka Dam extends beyond Russia and Ukraine's borders. The Dnieper River serves as a major waterway connecting several countries, like Belarus. Changes to the river's flow and water quality may have transnational effects. potentially impacting other ecosystems and water resources in these neighboring countries. Furthermore, the destruction of the dam has raised concerns about the broader environmental consequences of human activities on critical infrastructure, underscoring the need for sustainable water management policies and practices to prevent further ecological damage. In conclusion, the environmental impacts of the Kakhovka Dam's destruction are profound and far-reaching. The flooding, agricultural losses, disruption to local wildlife, and contamination of water sources have all contributed to a significant environmental crisis. The damage to both the ecosystem and the human populations relying on these resources is likely to be felt for years to come, serving as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of vital infrastructure in times of conflict and the interconnectedness of human activities with the natural world. Check out my playlists featuring urgent environmental concerns as well as the Russo-Ukrainian conflict. Subscribe for more.